It's okay. Milan.
It's recording, Milan.
Good afternoon, my fellow Americans. We are gathered here today to witness and tell the story of the American nation. It is evident that in America, where we hold majority of the world's most obese cities, that our health remains to be the most prevalent danger and issue in America. The relationship between factory workers and factory owners over time has proven to be an indirect link to our faltering healthcare system. Given the ailments and abuses that have been and still are forced upon both workers and consumers at the hands of indignant capitalists and corporations, a new program must be enacted in which grants are promoted to reward healthy lifestyles. Business activity is limited and restricted, and chemical usage is barred from foods. First, we must provide and promote grants which promote exercise in primary and secondary schools for 3 out of 5 days a week. We must reduce the amount of fried foods that is cooked in the schools. In 2006, Morgan Spurlock will create the film Super Size Me, the humorous yet serious documentary that takes a personal approach and shows viewers firsthand the dangers and risks of dining at fast food restaurants, specifically McDonald's. In Spurlock's documentary, he took the ultimate McDonald's challenge, the ultimate challenge of binging on McDonald's for a month. There were several rules that went hand in hand with this binge. First, Spurlock was only allowed to consume 3 square meals a day. Second, he was allowed to eat food only from McDonald's. Throughout this binge, Spurlock's health was monitored. Within 30 days of eating nothing but McDonald's, Morgan punctured his liver, rose his cholesterol by more than 50%, and gained 24 pounds. The case study of Morgan Spurlock showed how unhealthy citizens of America are and how healthy we are becoming. Should we allow our schools to serve our children unhealthy fried foods on a daily basis, then the case of Morgan Spurlock will become a reality for our children. In questioning their alliance between big business and Congress, Schlosser and Spurlock will use their works to create logos. In 2002, Joseph Stant Joseph Stant filed a lawsuit against the McDonald's Corporation on behalf of 2 teenagers from the Bronx, New York Bronx. Stant's clients argued that McDonald's was serving them high-processed foods that affected their health. The chairman of the House Judiciary Committee rebutted that it is not the place of the law to protect them from their own excess. Congress did not believe that it was up to the consumers. It was up to the consumers, not the fast food companies, to monitor and protect the health of consumers, especially those who knew the dangers of the food. Through referencing the testimony of McDonald's in court and organizations affiliated with the fast food industry, Morgan Spurlock created an ethos. The documentary of Morgan Spurlock and the lawsuit of Joseph Stant both point out that the alliances between big business and Congress, and initially show how conspiracies have gone into effect in order to protect fast food industries. In order to protect people and to promote a healthier nation, the federal and state governments must show no tolerance or sympathy towards fast food industries. Second, we must implement limitations and restrictions on business activity. The government must be held accountable for appointing certified and credible officials for factories and to be employed as nursing staff. In 1997, a man by the name of Kenny Dobbins worked at the Montfort Slaughterhouse in Green Island. One day, Dobbins was severely injured on the job and suffered from severe back pain. Afterwards, Dobbins was sent home and eventually hospitalized. After returning to work, Kenny was injured injured, hospitalized several times more, until eventually Kenny was left in pain, without workers' compensation, without a pension, and without employment. In 1990, Kevin Wilson was injured at the IBP slaughterhouse in Council Bluffs, Iowa. When Wilson reported his injury to Diane Ardent, one of the company's nurses, he was told that he had experienced a minor injury. Seeking a second opinion, Wilson went to visit his personal doctor, who said that Wilson suffered a major injury and needed to be excused from work for days. Outraged by the lives of nurses, Wilson entered legal combat with IBP that would award him $2 million after the lawsuit. The case of Wilson versus IBP disclosed controversy of falsified testimony from IBP workers. It was later found that the workers were under the influence of the safety award system. Under the safeguards of the safety award system, officials who were higher than workers, such as nurses and supervisors, will lie in court in order to reap financial benefits from their employers. Kenny Dobbins is one of many workers who were harmed by the industry. Sadly, there were many more like him. In addition to appointing new officials to run factories, a bill must go into effect in which companies are allotted one restaurant per block. By reducing the number of factories and supplementing them with healthier and more affordable options, we will initially be steps closer to achieving a healthier, stronger nation. The lives of Kenny Dobbins and Kevin Wilson allow us to see as Americans the dishonesty and lack of integrity that plagues our nation. I do not doubt that our moral has grown stronger since the turn of the century. However, the lack of integrity that factory owners possess has put workers at the mercy of factory owners for over a century. These robber barons have long witnessed the injuries of its workers and have gone so far as to cover up injuries and leave thousands of deaths unreported. A new plan must go into effect in which the federal government seek to and successfully protect all workers. To avoid further injury, the abuse of workers, all workers are to join a union upon employment. Having workers join a union will force factory owners to respect and value their workers. Supplying factories with unionized workers will secure the rights of the workers and decrease and halt the amount of injuries and deaths that occur in factories. Just as we strive to protect workers, the federal government and state government must protect consumers. In order to protect consumers, the people of our nation, no leniency or tolerance must be granted by the FDA. These various industries appeal to children through advertisements such as cartoons, such as Jack in the Box and In order to sell more burgers, restaurants like Jack in the Box have advertised to little children. Ultimately, these fast food restaurants have lured customers in with the promise of efficiency, convenience, and affordability. The same children that Jack in the Box and several other industries target in advertising suffer greatly after consuming their products. In 1992, Lauren Beth Randolph was admitted to the hospital on December 24th after dining at the San Diego Jack in the Box. Over a period of 3 days, Lauren suffered from pains and 3 heart attacks that claimed her life at the age of 6 years old. As it turns out, young Lauren consumed a burger at the Jack in the Box restaurant, which was tainted with E. coli. In an effort to raise capital and raise profit, fast food restaurants have exposed children to life-threatening diseases. The industrialists, under the authority of Congress, has supplied the public with chemically processed tainted food, and it is being handed out to American consumers over the counter. The FDA must have a zero-tolerance policy for fast food companies and go so far as to inspect all food before it is dispatched from the factories and handed to the hands of consumers. The careless industrialists are to blame for the ruptured healthcare system. Contemporaries such as Eric Schlosser and Morgan Spurlock combine research and media with combine research and media to present profound and exciting information to the American public. In the 20th century, employees are treated with disregard instead. Employers treated employees with disregard and stood back and watched as the meatpacking industry began to claim hundreds of lives. In addition to claiming hundreds of lives, it is up to the Americans as women, men, children, and parents to hold the federal and state governments accountable as well as themselves. Together we can reform the health care and improve the health of our nation and set a better example for our generation.